Hello and welcome. In this video, just a quick one, you might have seen in the last video where I was replacing the stitch selector quadrant gear in this 760, and when I went to plug it in to test it, you would have seen that the machine was running by itself. Doesn't sound too bad. Oh. That's capacitor gone. I've just cut the power. Ooh, it's starting to smell. I'm not touching the foot controller. I'll turn the power on. Yeah, and it's starting to smell. Just a warning here, make sure that you've unplugged your machine before you go in and touch anything in here, because it's there's live wiring. So be very careful. Make sure the machine's unplugged. I can't stress that enough. This is totally live in here if that's not unplugged. So I've shown in another video how to open the clamshell type foot controllers here, but just quickly, you just feel with your finger where there's a little dimple here in the rubber, and that's where the hole is. You just stab through a screwdriver and unscrew the screw. Some models have another screw up in this area around here somewhere as well. Just be aware of that if it doesn't come apart after undoing this screw. But what I wanted to show is the capacitor here, and that more than likely will be the cause of the problem there. Another good thing to do while you're working on something like this, if you do, I mean, if you don't feel comfortable doing this sort of thing, just leave it up to an electrician or your mechanic. What you can do is you just hang on to the plug, and that way, you know, there's no way it can be plugged back in while you're working on it. It sounds strange, but accidents can happen. Now, if we have a close look here, we can see this capacitor it's a 0.1 microfarad. At a pinch, if you want to carry on sewing, and you know, you've got someone that feels comfortable with doing this, and you're happy to have this done, you can, at a pinch, you can remove the capacitor just so that you can get up and sewing again. It's not required for the operation of the machine. I would get it replaced as soon as possible. So it's a 0.1 microfarad class 2 capacitor rated at well, here I'm in New Zealand, it's 240 volt mains supply. Just loosen the two screws there, and the capacitor will just pop out like that there. And, you know, telltale sign is big crack along here. It smells pretty funky. Yeah, another crack on the other side. These are, yeah, Reefer brand. They're notorious for blowing. So 250 volt, 0.1 microfarad X class. So X class capacitors goes across the mains. So you can keep that, you know, maybe keep that for reference to give to your electrician or mechanic. What you can do now is just tighten the terminals back up. So you don't need to loosen them much, just to get that cap out. Tighten that like that, and then you can give it a clean while you're in there, get rid of the dust. I'm not going to bother, I just wanted to sew test this machine here. And then just make sure your springs here line up in these holes here, like that. And then just hold the controller closed, get your screwdriver. I find it easier to get the screwdriver into the screw head first, so I can see it turning the screw there, and then just line the threads up inside there, line the screw up with the hole, and then just go ahead and tighten that. Like that. Okay, and that should be all set to go. And these here, they're pretty easy to get. They're off-the-shelf type items, so no problem with that. They are noise suppression capacitors for the mains there. Okay, so yeah, I hope you found that helpful, and thanks very much for watching.